Hey there, I'm Curly, and welcome to Unfiltered and Undiscovered, the podcast where three music lifers dig into the songs, the stories, and the legends of music that may not have crossed your radar yet. But if you're new here, let me set the scene. I'm the punter, the guy who swears that the best music, the best Australian independent music, was in 1986. I've got the record collection to prove it. Now, joining me each week, I've got Braggy. He's a lifelong muso, a dreamer that's still waiting for that one song of his to go viral. He knows his stuff and he loves digging into lyrics. And of course, we've got Rossi, the roadie, the manager, and the guy with the story about every band that's ever plugged into a pub PA system anywhere from Perth to Parramatta. Together, we get unfiltered with the best undiscovered artists across Australia and occasionally the world. And occasionally, we also talk a whole lot of rubbish around artists that we already love. Let's get into it.
Hey y'all, I'm Alison Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids Hunters.
This is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. And you're listening to our friends, Braggy and Curly.
My favorite bands from Australia.
You're listening to our friends, Braggy, Rossi, and Curly
on the
Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast.
Hey there, it's Curly here, and welcome to episode 243 of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. We are usually three old blokes with one obsession, and that's music that matters. But tonight, or today, or this morning, it's just me, one old bloke with one obsession, and that's music that matters. Unfiltered chats with undiscovered artists. Every week on the pod, it's guitars, grit, and the good stuff that you're not going to hear on mainstream radio. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered. And wherever you're listening, please hit that like and subscribe button and share it with a friend that you know needs some new music in their life. Today, it is my absolute pleasure to sit down with, basically we're heading out west to the beautiful southwest of Western Australia to chat with a wonderful singer-songwriter who's living proof that it's never too late to chase your music dreams. Please welcome the talented, warm-hearted, and brilliant storytelling of Olive Mae. How are you, Olive?
Yeah, really well, thanks. That was a beautiful intro. Thank you.
Oh, we try. We do our research and we get into the music. And I think it surprises a lot of artists how, like, Braggy's renowned for going into back catalogs and pulling up classics from when someone wrote a song when they were 15 and whatnot. So they get surprised at the depth of research that we do. But it's part of the fun and the joy of the podcast. So, Olive, Braggy usually kicks off the podcast with a question, so I'm going to ask it for him. So tell me about the time that you knew that music was what you wanted to do, that it was what you wanted to invest your life in.
I think ultimately, it was probably the minute that as a 5-year-old, I brought a tiny violin home from school without any consultation from anyone in my family or anyone else. My mum turned up to pick me up one day and I just had like a tiny violin and I brought it home and I was so proud of myself. This is what mum says anyway. And just proceeded to just play the same song for a whole year, my poor mother. But yeah, I think very early on, the music was just within me.
Okay. So I know my daughter had a recorder there that just drove, the old recorder, and it just drove me crazy. So I could just imagine that maybe a violin's a step up from the recorder. So
I don't think so. Like, I can't imagine how terrible it would have been just to hear a 5-year-old play the same song for that long. Like, it sounds awful. If one of my kids did that, I would have been like, absolutely not.
So what was the music that you were listening to as you were developing this love for music on the radio? What were some of those artists that really stood out to you?
It's so funny because I just used to, like, I think even though I played a lot of music throughout kind of my childhood and my teenage years, I actually never was one of those people who was like super into any sort of particular music. I just listened a lot to commercial radio, to be honest. And it probably wasn't until I was about 16 and heard Missy Higgins for the first time that something really hit me about what she was doing. Because, like, I suppose, that was quite formative for me. And also she sang in a range that was quite similar to what I could do. So I don't think really anything really hit me that much until I heard Missy, to be honest.
Okay. And did that elevate then with your songwriting and the music itself?
Well,
was that really spurred you on?
Yeah, I think so. So then, like very soon after I discovered Missy, I discovered the waifs and, all of that kind of thing. So I think, I asked for a guitar for my 18th birthday and started teaching myself how to play guitar and then started writing songs basically straight away. So I mean, although the music was there in a big way, it wasn't something that I thought that I could, I loved it, but I don't think I thought that maybe it could be so much my life and a career until, I started writing songs when I started playing guitar.
I mentioned off air that I've really been enjoying your music and getting into it over the last couple of days. There's a truly unique Australian aspect around your music and your vocals. There's that real Australian twang. And I mentioned Adele Oliver prior off, and it's very similar. You've both got very similar, the way you say things like, or sing things like home and road and whatnot. So is that something that's obviously not forced? It's pretty authentic, but is that something that people appreciate, just that Aussie-ness around the vocals?
Yeah, absolutely. I get a lot of comments on it. But also, I think there's something about being from WA that we sing just a little bit differently to maybe the East Coast people who sing with an Australian accent. I'm not sure. I get a lot of comments about, I remember being at Tamworth and someone said that I sound a lot like the Sunny Cowgirls. And I was talking to someone and they were like, well, that's because they're from WA. So, and then a lot of comparisons to the waifs as well. So, I think we might have a bit of a different accent over here in WA. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, slightly different, but it's great. I love it, just the way that and it's certainly something that you pick up. And it's certainly, it's interesting. We've had a couple of artists from WA, and there's a sense, like, I don't want to say it's similar, because they're all different in their own aspects, but there's like a sense of place that you get when you're listening to a WA artist. So whether it's someone like Adele or someone like yourself, it's almost like you pick up automatically that this is a WA artist. So I don't know whether that's good or bad or indifferent or whatever it looks like from a world domination scale, but personally I love it. So and you grew up in a small part of WA. I'm going to say this wrong. I'm really horrible with words, but Karen, what was the hometown?
So I live here right now. It's called Cowaramup.
Gotcha.
So it's, so you have to drive through Cowaramup to go get to Margaret River.
Okay.
So Margaret River is just 10 minutes down the road. Our town is fondly nicknamed Cowtown, and there's a lot of plastic cows on the road, and lots of tourists stop and to have photos, and it's a little bit embarrassing, but they all seem to love it, so that's good. But
well, town's got to be known for something, don't they? So Adele's from Broome, and you're from almost the other end of the state. So okay.
So so we drove home from Broome one time, and we've driven to Broome and driven home, and we drove home in 2 days, and I think it was like 16 and 17-hour days of driving. So yeah, it's not close.
It's not like let's pop over and have a Friday beer with Adele. No, I get
No.
it.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, sorry. You go.
I just in a small southwest town in WA. What's music like there? What was it like for you? Because a lot of your story captures storytelling. So is it based around where you live, or is it based more around what you've seen and experienced elsewhere?
Yeah, so I moved down south. I grew up in Perth until I was 11. And then I decided that I actually wanted to go to boarding school in the country. So I would go to school during the week and then come home down here on the weekends and on holidays. And I was super into horses, which is why I wanted to do it. So yeah, I always had the horses as well as the music going on. But yeah, I mean, as far as my songs, my songwriting is very emotionally driven. So it really is stuff that happens either to me or things that I see or things that I experience. Yeah, like I think, my latest song, Country Songs, is just all about kind of my life and discovering my inner child and, like discovering what she really wanted to do with her life and what her dream was and kind of just living up to that. I've also written songs about, going for road trips on, like that one from Broome to Perth and absolutely very very autobiographical, I suppose, in my songwriting.
It's interesting. Let's talk about country songs because once again, I love the song. I got the lyric wrong first because when I first listened to it, it's I'd rather be riding horses than, and I thought it said than singing country songs. I'm thinking that's a bit of a strange lyric there for a country music artist, but as I got used to it, but there's a bit of a comeback hint in that song, isn't there? To me, I'm listening to it and I'm hearing that. Life's going to throw things at you, but there are some things that you go back to, and that's riding horses and singing country songs. But you have had a bit of a comeback as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I suppose, like as a kid, as I said, I was always into riding horses and singing. They were my two favorite things to do. And, as you grow up and kind of get told, well, I did anyway. You get told, like what you should be doing with your life. And I started writing songs and singing when I was 18, as I said. But at 21, I got pregnant with my first child. So he was born when I was 22. So I had another one also when I was 24. So I spent a lot of my 20s as a mum, but also kind of trying to grow up and be like a real proper adult. And I went to uni. I tried to do an accounting degree and I just couldn't bring myself to finish it because it was so boring. No
I know.
Listening.
I know lots of accountants and I understand why you would say that.
And yeah, so, I kind of thought that, like a corporate job or like a proper full-time job was what I should be doing. Yeah, and it kind of wasn't until probably after COVID really that I decided that, that probably wasn't for me actually. And actually what I really wanted to do was sing and write songs and play my songs to people. But it took me a long time kind of to get the confidence back, I think, because, when you're young, you kind of have, you don't really care what other people are thinking of like your songs. I wrote some absolute shockers, but I thought they were great. Yeah. So I think, it did take me quite a long time to come back to it. And also just having the time as well. So yeah, I did actually quit my day job in admin and accounts at the end of 2022. And kind of pursued the music thing full time from 2023.
Yeah.
When I was young, I just wanted to be free. Sun on my skin, the wind in my hair, and nowhere else to be. Somewhere in between it all, I went and lost my way. Got caught up doing what was right, felt like I had to stay. Thought I had it all worked out, I got nothing too good to refuse. Sometimes it's hard to know which love to choose. Life could teach you so much, and I know that I was wrong, 'cause I'd rather be riding horses and singing country songs.
That's excellent. That's a great story. We're told that this is what we should be doing, and then often our heart yearns to be doing something else. And I think that's always important. It's that finding that balance where we either go for it and have a real crack, because none of us want to live with regret either. So country songs is your most recent release. So how's it going for you?
It's funny because I mean, I love the song. It actually does mean a lot to me. It was actually the first proper country song that I intentionally wrote. I actually
Okay.
wrote it to take to my very first Tamworth Country Music Festival in 2024.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, my family and I were on a big trip around Australia, and yeah, I was up in Cairns, so like the opposite side of Australia,
Yeah.
for a few weeks, and I thought I better get going and get myself a country song. So yeah, this is the one I wrote, and it kind of feels like the start of my country music career, to be honest. This song, so it's really nice to have it out, and yeah, it's been getting received very well. I've had a lot of messages from people, like women my age who can really resonate with the message in the song, which has been really nice, because that's always the cherry on top. But yeah, I mean, the production on this song is amazing, and I just haven't been able to stop listening to this one and the rest of the songs that I recorded last year with Matt Fell in Tasmania.
Yeah.
They're just all so good, and it's like my kind of music, and I've never had recordings like this before where I just can't stop listening to them. So yeah, it's nice to have a couple of them out.
Absolutely. Your previous single was El Caballo Blanco, and it's a tribute to your grandfather. Have I said that right?
El Caballo Blanco.
Okay, all right. So you can
Close.
tell I'm not great with enunciating stuff. So, but once again, it's a beautiful story. It's a tribute to your grandfather, correct?
Yeah, yeah. I actually wrote this one with my friend Greta Zilla. I met her a couple of years ago on one of Lynn Botel's songwriting retreats. Yeah, we've got to know each other and written quite a few songs together. And yeah, I was talking to her, and we'd planned to write a different song, but we were talking about the EP that I was about to record, and we were going through all of the songs, and I had written actually a completely different song, but on the same topic. And yeah, she said, that's really interesting. Let's try and, like rejig that song a little bit. So yeah, this is the one we came up with. It's funny when you grow up with a story in your family, like that like, I don't know, when you grow up, things just seem normal. And then it's not until I started telling people about this story that they were like, wow, that's amazing. Or I remember El Caballo Blanco, or, like I have a story about it. So yeah, it's really nice to have honored Ray, my grandfather, with this song. Because yeah, I mean, El Caballo Blanco, for those that don't know, was a Spanish horse theme park that he started over here in WA in the 1970s. Yeah, and it was really popular. So then he took it over to Sydney and started one there as well. And it was really popular there as well. So he took it over to America, tried to start it up there, and it kind of all went horribly wrong. And unfortunately, Ray died in the kind of early to mid 80s. And so I never got to meet him. So that was quite sad. But yeah, so, holds a lot of memories, very kind of special to, have written a song about it.
Absolutely. So when I look and listen to a lot of your music, there's personal stories like The one that I really like is "I Like You." So that is such a cute, and there's obviously a story behind it, but I think everyone that listens to that makes their own story. Is that something that you've sort of heard before from people that like the song?
Yeah, I mean, I actually should play that live more because I do love that song. I actually wrote it because when I first met my husband, we were too scared to say "I love you," so we just used to say "I like you" a lot. So it kind of came super cute. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really cute song, that one. Yeah, you really have delved into the back catalogue. Well done.
Yeah, we
Heard that you liked me just the other day from the kid who lives right across the way. Think I might like to come and play. Yeah, I think I might come around someday. Heard you talking with your friends. Yeah, I heard you laughing outside just then. I don't want to tell you in front of them, 'cause I don't want them to know that you like me. I like you too. Yeah, I like you too.
Well done.
then
we,
you
we
came.
enjoy it, but the other one that also sticks out to me is "Girls Like You," right? So there's a story there, and there's a bit of a meaning behind that one. So walk me through "Girls Like You."
Yeah, so "Girls Like You" was actually, I wrote it. I'm just sick of hearing on the news all the time about, and just recently, like, it hasn't stopped. I think I wrote that in about 2018. The girls that just keep on dying all the time. Even last week, I think four girls and women died. Like, it's ridiculous at the hands of, domestic violence. Yeah, and it just doesn't stop. And I just, I felt really compelled to write that song. And actually, I think that's what spurred me on to go and record in the first place. Because, yeah, I just really wanted to get that song, recorded and out because,
Mm.
yeah, even if it hits a few people and, yeah, they feel moved by it, I think that's really important. But yeah, I mean, that's also, we can say that probably is a song that kind of steered me in the country direction, because I entered it in the 2023 WA Music Song of the Year Awards, and it was nominated in the country category. So yeah, I kind of always thought that I was more folk than country before that. So yeah.
I can imagine, but yeah, I think that song has just got so much meaning because, and the way that I've interpreted it is that we often get told it doesn't happen to,
Yes,
it
just
only
like you.
happens to certain types of girls, and et cetera, et cetera. But more and more, it's becoming much more prominent that it can happen to just about anyone in any sort of a situation. So I actually really love that song.
Things like this don't happen, not to girls like you. Such an easy thing to say, we know that it's not true. Things like this don't happen, not to girls like you. Said it so convincingly, we thought it must be true. Whispers in the classroom, she tells them it's not true. Everyone knows more than they should, there's nothing else to do. He didn't tell them everything, like how she told him no, how she almost ran away, but she was too slow. Things like this don't happen, not to girls like you. Such an easy thing to say, we know that it's not true. Things like this don't happen, not to girls like you. so convincingly we thought it must be true. Walking down the darkened path late one summer night, no one there to hold her hand or give her any light. A perfect storm of things gone wrong. He says he'll walk her home. No one knows what happened next. They found her all alone.
To be honest, but then you go through wait and see, rainy days, hit the road, feels like home. They're all just, it's just good stuff that you can just be sitting there and following along with the story. So is that what you're aiming to do with your songwriting when you put together a song, that people can just sit there and take it as their own and interpret it their own way? Or is it something that is truly deep within you that you want them to know about?
No, I think it definitely is for them to take it in their own way. I think kind of the more specific you make a story, the more people can kind of resonate with it. And you know, like, I mean, we don't really have that much, you know, there's not really many differences between people. So I think, you know, I think a lot of these stories are universal. But yeah, I mean, I'm very conscious of the storytelling aspect of my songwriting, and I really value that probably the most. So yeah, thank you for saying that.
No
'cause
worries.
that's what it is.
So balancing motherhood and a music career, right? Must be one of the most challenging things that we hear it a lot. So we take our hats off to especially the fresh country artists that are coming through, that are balancing that. What's one of the hardest? I guess it's all hard in so many ways, but what's the hardest and most rewarding aspects of that journey for you at the moment? That balancing of motherhood and a music career.
I think at the moment, because I've been doing actually quite a lot of travel, because you kind of have to, because over here in WA, you know, we are, as I said, I'm 2 days away from Adele, 2 days drive away. So yeah, I mean, although there's quite a few of us country artists here, we are very spread out, and there's a lot more kind of networking and songwriting opportunities if you travel over east, and also kind of performance opportunities as well. So I have been traveling a lot. I always used to wish that I could travel for work, and now I'm like, ooh, I'm a bit tired, but that's okay. It's fun. So I think that's really hard. My husband also works FIFO. He's a diesel mechanic, so he works in the mine. So the everyday juggle of trying to work out what to do with the kids, and especially now they're 16 and 14, so they're kind of too old to be like just farmed off to grannies now, because they've got too many opinions and too many things on. So yeah, I mean, there has been a lot of responsibility kind of thrust upon them, and I've always been kind of conscious of making them quite independent and to look after themselves. So yeah, I suppose I'm proud of the way that they've taken that on. And they are both very responsible, and they're also really proud of me and what I'm doing. And I think they can recognize, you know, that it's important to go and just chase your dreams and, you know, just work hard and see where it takes you. I think there's a lot to be learned from that.
Well, they're seeing that live, aren't they? They're seeing that role model who's doing that, and it really does help them capture what it looks like for them. And it's going to be different for every person, of course, but it's they've got a wonderful role model there. So we often talk about Nashville, and we, you know, especially with Australian country artists, Australians are doing really well in a place like Nashville at the moment. There's a number of artists that we've spoken with that are now made Nashville their home, and they're working through that journey of becoming more successful. Is that something on your plans, or is Australia where you want to dominate?
Yeah, it's funny because I used to think, oh, I'd love to go to Nashville. Wouldn't it be great? But I just don't think it's the right place for me. I don't think, you know, my Australianness, I don't know. It It could be like something that people are like, oh my God, this is amazing. But because it takes so long to even, crack in there, I'm actually not that interested to go to Nashville. I'd be more keen on just like taking my caravan around Australia and just playing nonstop to anyone who will listen. I think that's kind of more where I'm at.
Okay. And
Yeah.
have you done that before? Just take the
Yeah.
caravan and tour?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, we were on the road for 7 months. And yeah, we went around Australia and I think I played 50 gigs in 7 months.
Wow.
So that was pretty fun. Yeah.
That's cool. So we've got our Nashville here in Tamworth every January. So what's been your experiences like heading into Tamworth? Well received, good shows?
I love Tamworth. So yeah, I went to my first one in 2024 and I bussed on the street every day and it was like the hottest Tamworth they'd had in a while. And we were in our caravan and we were at the riverside camping. So we had no power and no air conditioning and it was like so brutal. So that was my first one. It was a lot and I was like, oh, don't know about this. It's a lot. And maybe there hasn't been much much reward for all of the effort. But in 2025, I went to the Academy of Country Music and I met so many beautiful humans. And I really have so many friends in the industry just from that, and then kind of have built more also. So 2026 was amazing. It was like a reunion. I just went over and just had the time of my life. And so I think I just think that I have to just keep going back because the more I go, the more excellent times I have. So I love it. I love Tamworth. But next year it's just been announced that I've got my own headline show. So that's cool.
Well, where's that? Tell us more.
So it's at the Listening Room at the Community Centre. It's on Thursday. I'm pretty sure it's the 21st of January at 3:30. So it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Because you've opened for Sarah Stoner, I believe.
Sarah Storer, yeah. And I also opened
that's it.
for my good friend Greta Zilla this year at Tamworth, and I actually got on stage and sang a song with Sarah as well at the end of her set. So I mean, that's all about community and that's all about making connections and just having friends. I've just got so many more friends in the industry now. So it's really nice. It's a beautiful, welcoming community, and it's really nice to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Bit of a fun one. So which of your songs do you think you could get a whole country pub singing along with?
That's a really good question. Oh, I know which one it is. It's actually my next single that I haven't. Obviously, it's not been released.
What a brilliant segue, because that was my next question.
It's being released in October, and it's called Small Town. And it's about like living in a small town, and I have actually had people sing along to it quite often. So that's definitely the one that they're going to sing along to.
Okay, we can't wait to hear that. So it's coming out in October.
Yeah, and it's got a video. Guy Jay Seeney, who's an amazing videographer, he was over. Actually, it was a long time ago. It was last, I think, October. He was over for Strumming Bird, taking a bit of content and for one of the artists, and he got in touch with me because he did the video for Wait and See as well, and he asked if I had any videos that I wanted him to do while he was in WA, and I said absolutely. There's a song that I wrote about my town, and I'd love to have a video of me in my town singing that song. So we've got that. It's ready to go. So it's very exciting.
Except we got to wait till October now, Olive.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a year in but that's okay.
All right, just we'll start winding it up. So a couple of things. Any advice for other mums or late blooming artists who feel like they might have missed their chance?
You haven't. Just if you really want to do something, you may as well just go for it, because you never know what's around the corner. So you never know how long you've got here, and you only live once, so you might as well just go for it. You've got nothing to lose. And just back yourself and don't listen to anyone else.
Okay. Great advice. Great advice. And because I think everyone, a lot of creatives have that within themselves and they just want to get out there and do it. But there are certain things that we tell ourselves that hold us back as well. So I think that's great advice. So, so what is next, and where can people grab a hold of and follow you?
So I'm heading, actually, speaking of travel, I'm heading to the Gympie Muster for the first time in August.
Whooshka. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's very exciting. So so I'm doing that, and then I've got a few festivals over here in WA for the second half of the year, and then just ultimately heading to Tamworth next January. So
Well,
if you want to find me, I'm all over your socials and everything. So it's at Olive Mae Williams, and May is spelt MAE.
yeah, it's such an old-fashioned name, Olive. It's I had an auntie Olive back in the day. Unfortunately, no longer with us. But Olive Mae Williams, it just comes across as a very warm, traditional style name. So it's a family name, no doubt.
Yeah. Actually, my mum had an auntie called Olive Mae as well. It's pretty funny, but
It's cool.
yeah. I also have a niece called Olive, so it's actually quite strong name in our family.
Okay, it's good to hear.
Yeah.
It's awesome. All right, so we'll be adding your music to a couple of our playlists. We've got one about fresh country artists, and we've got every damn song. So we'll be putting those into our playlists. It's been awesome speaking with you today, Olive. On our very next episode, we're featuring another country artist called Ali Peterson. We're really looking forward to having a chat with Ali. So every week, I think we prove one thing, and that's some of the best music in the world hasn't been discovered yet. And you will find, if you've liked what you've heard today with Olive, you will find even more on our playlists that are available on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon. But thank you for helping us shine a light on independent artists and the people who make this community so special. Until next time, keep discovering a new music. Thank you so much, Olive. It's been an absolute joy speaking with you today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, that's a wrap for this episode of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. If you've liked what you've heard, please do us a favor. Hit follow, leave a rating, and share it with a mate who needs some new music and a little bit of laughter in their lives. We're all about discovering the songs that actually mean something. So if you're into raw talent, great stories, and music that hits you right in the guts, you're in the right place, and we'd love to see you back again next week. Don't forget our Spotify playlists. Every damn song, every track we've ever talked about, rising female country artists, and undiscovered covers. And just now, they're not just available on Spotify. You'll also find them on YouTube Music and Apple Music as well. Now, we will be back next week with more music, more stories, and probably some more arguments. But that's what keeps us unfiltered. We'll see you next week.